This is Delta Mike, down and out in Torrevieja. Delta Mike, that would be me. Down and out in Torrevieja, well, down and out. Homeless. A tramp, a hobo, a vagrant, an indigent person, a person of no fixed abode. Some might say a bum. Someone who sleeps rough or lives rough, perhaps sleeping on the streets or in a field, as is my case, in a field, in a tent in a field. Okay, let's give it a minute or two for peoples to arrive. Let's see how that goes. I've no idea what we're going to talk about tonight. I've got very little prepared. Well, I've got nothing prepared. Cheers to those of you that are here at the start, though. Say hello in chat if you will. And in chat, unlike me, you want to switch away from top chat, which is the default setting, and you want to switch to live chat all messages so that you can see everything that's said. Otherwise, you'll miss out on 10 to 20% of chat messages, especially once we get a little bit whoa and a little bit way. Those words can get filtered out. Don't use the words. No coffee tonight, folks. I cannot make hot coffee. My gas ran out a couple of days ago, and I don't have enough money on my card. My card is like a prepaid debit card given to me by my friend Karen, actually, technically in her name. I don't have enough money on that, and I don't have enough money in cash. So I fall short of what is required. I don't even know how much a replacement gas canister would be. Somewhere between 20 and 25 euros typically. But at the minute, who knows? These things could be all over the place. I literally don't know the current price of a can of, I don't even know if it's propane or butane. It's the orange one with a blue collar. It's kind of got a plastic bulb. It's a metal case, but with a plastic bulb inside one of the lightweight tanks. So whatever that is, I think it's a mixture. I think it's a mix of propane and butane. But I don't even know how much that would be. I guess I could look that up if I knew what to look for. But the last time I changed it was about 22 euros, but it has been as much as 25 in the past. Oh, I haven't silenced things over there. I'll do that in a moment. No, shut up. What are you? Repsol gas bottles price. Bombona de butano y propano oil. Yeah, that. Propane gas bottle price today. Accept all. Keep scrolling till you see something that looks right. No, I don't want to buy gizmos. No. That one. No. You're not offering me a price for that one. None of the bottles look like the right bottle. I'm lost, folks. I'm stuck. I'm lost. I don't know. I'm guessing that I need like somewhere between 20. I'm going to guess 25 to 30 euros because world events, everything fuel has gone up massively, hasn't it? So I don't know. I need a few extra quid at some point. Hannah, good evening. How are you and Tina? Asks Hannah. We are pretty good. Let me babe? You're under the covers. I did just have a quick spray of the fly spray, so Tina hides under the covers when I do that. Let me put a light on and introduce you to my glamorous co-star. Hello, babe. I know. Yeah. Say hello to Hannah. Say hello to Hannah and all the other peoples. We're talking to the peoples tonight. Friday night. We have to talk to the peoples. Yeah. Gonna do the other eye as well. You're not so bothered about that one. Okay, babe. I'll wrap you back up, yeah? You're going underground again. You're going underground. She's going away, folks. There we go. She's gone. Gone. Okay. Tina's fine, in and of herself. She's a nuisance. We all know she's a fucking nuisance. But I won't go into details. We've had a few traumas and incidents this week. Nothing I can't cope with. Nothing I can't clean up. Yeah, best not to dwell on it. She's okay. Smithy, hello. Evening, Mike and Tina, said Smithy. Hello, mate. I've got no idea what I'm talking about tonight, folks. I really haven't prepped again. I'm thinking of putting this back to 11 o'clock in future, so that I can at least have a bit of a nap beforehand. If it's not going to get dark until 8:30, 8:45, yeah, I just feel that I need a nap beforehand, especially if I'm going to do, and I prefer, my preference is to hit the 4-hour mark, so that all that post-processing gets done straight away, and anyone who's come late can go back and watch and have chat replay and everything. If we don't hit 4 hours, we have to wait until 7 o'clock tomorrow night before chat replay is available, and that kind of kills the replay, doesn't it? That sinks it a little bit. So I don't know. My preference is to try and hit the 4-hour mark. But if I don't get a nap, and if I'm just not feeling it, and if I'm not prepped, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it will happen. I'll try. It's up to you guys to keep me going, keep me chatting. Excuse me. Keep me chatting, and keep the conversation going, if you can and if you want to. Not everybody wants to. Not everybody wants to talk to a fucking tramp, but you know, that's what the channel is. That's who I am. Not by choice, but yeah. Okay, folks. What kind of week have you all had? How's the weather been where you are? We're starting to feel like summer here. The days are getting warmer. To some extent, the nights are getting warmer. Sometimes, not always. We do still have this weirdness of nights under 10 degrees every now and again. It's very. I've never known it in all my years in Spain. April nights should not be under 10 degrees, and yet we do get them every now and again. But it is starting to feel like summer here. If you saw my shorts that I did yesterday, we had fog. And I know a lot of you are going to say, so what? Fog, no big deal. We don't get that here. That doesn't happen. I can count probably on the fingers of one hand all the times we've had fog in the 10 years I've been in Spain. Probably. I may be off by a little bit. But that's your order of magnitude. Fog's just not a thing. And yet I stepped out of the tent at 6 or 7 o'clock last night, and there it was. And it was foggy all night, and everything was wet outside, as you'd expect, although the plastic was dripping wet through in the morning. But then the fog carried on until way after lunch. This week for me has been like a cookery week. I made a curry. I think that was Monday, Tuesday this week, and carried on eating it until the other day. And now today I'm just doing a video about making a chili with some of the same ingredients, but obviously changing up the flavors a little bit. No meat, because I haven't got any meat. But I was slowed down in the morning that the EcoFlows weren't getting the power they should have been getting. When they should have been getting 70, 80, 90 watts, because clear blue sky and sun, there were no clouds, but there was this fog, this mist, and I was getting 50 watts instead. So that slowed things down. So I kind of sort of haven't quite finished cooking the chili today, or at least not with the rice anyway. The chili itself is kind of cooked. Yeah. Weather, folks, the weather, what can you do? So how's the weather been where you are? My friend and yours, Karen, has gone back to the UK today for a week, and they're expecting rain up there in the north of England. How is it with you? Let me have a quick swig. I'm just at the end of one can. I got the next can waiting, obviously. If I can't have coffee, I'll have to be beer, won't it? Although, from another angle, I do still have a bottle of wine that was from... Oh, who's this? I think this one was from Steve. Yeah, the red. Yeah, the white. I had the white. That was from... who is that from? Fuck. Oh, I'm good with names, aren't I? Spanish lass brought me some food and stuff on Easter Sunday, and I do know her name, and my head is just not getting there. Oh, I do apologise. I hope she's not watching this. That's no good, is it? She anglicised her name, but I always call her by the Spanish version anyway, and I'm not getting it. Adela. There you go. Adela. Calls herself Adele when she's speaking with English people. Her English is excellent, by the way, fluent. Sorry, Adela. I'm just a dick. The connections, they just don't always fire the way they used to. It's why I struggle at the minute with some of these puzzle pages and things that I do. Sudoku that I used to fly through. We'll go at that we'll do that another day. One day we'll do a live stream, and I'll do some of the puzzle pages in the newspaper. We'll do some of the puzzles live, and you can see what a dick I am. Some things that I don't know and just can't get the word. I know the answer and I just can't get it. Yeah, such is life, folks. Right. Okay, let me tell you about my week. I'm going to give you like my week in outline. We'll do a more intensive version on Sunday night. We'll do the proper, like we did last week. We'll do the the more thorough version of the week on the Sunday night. But in short, it's been quite a quiet week. Not much in the way of visitors. I'm just trying to remember. My friend Anthony called by. What do you do through the day to pass time? Asks Michael Mashtag. YouTube video. I watch an awful lot of YouTube. I download TV series and films, but I tend to download them and then not really get around to watching them. I'm hung up at the minute. I've been watching Death in Paradise, and I'm in the middle of series 11, and I've watched 1 to 5, and I can't get 6 and 7 to download. And I've got about 8 copies of each one queued for downloading, and just none of them arrive. So I'm a little bit hung up on that. But I mainly, so I'm here in Spain, and the weather's lovely. It's gorgeous, and I'm sitting inside the tent. If you sit out too much, I mean, sun's not too healthy for you. It gets hot when you're out there. Being laying on top of the bed, I'm in the bed now, but on top of the bed is cooler than being out and about out there. We haven't got to it's not warm enough yet that I've needed to put the fan on, although now I've got the power to do that. But yeah, when you're in the middle of a series or season, and you just can't get those middle 2 episodes, 6 and 7. I've got 8 waiting to be watched. Now, I said the other day, I'm working backwards with this at the minute. I started this season, and when I watched it, I didn't know who anyone was apart from the main character, Ralph Little, I think he's called, isn't it, the actor? So this is Death in Paradise. So I'm downloading previous seasons and stuff back to where I actually recognize somebody. But yeah, when it gets hung up, I've got other things that I downloaded, and I'm just not. I've got the Equalizer that I started working through again. I've got the TV series Equalizer from the 80s, Iwa Wuwa, or Edward Woodward, as you might know him. I've got War of the Worlds. I'm halfway through the 2nd season. There was only 2 seasons of that. Again, I think the 80s or 90s. Person of Interest. I loved that program, and I can't get past episode 10 or 11, season 1. It's there. They're there either on the phone or the tablet, one or the other. And I've got the external hard drive with all sorts. I downloaded all of Humphrey Bogart's films recently. Currently trying to download what's he called? Oh no. Lots of singing and dancing from the 30s and 40s. Is it this? I don't know if that's here or this might be on the phone. Give me a second. Danny Kaye. That's who it is. Danny Kaye. I knew the name really. I gotta close that though, otherwise that'll get in the way. Oh, I haven't done this. Give me a second. I need to turn on Do Not Disturb. Otherwise lots of plinks and plonks will interrupt us while we're chatting, folks. We're trying to have a civilized chat, just the 2 of us. Just the 6 of us, I guess. It's the 5. According to this, there's only 5 of you there right now. There was a few more earlier. I think I've bored everybody already. Like I said, I haven't really got anything lined up to talk about today. It is just Harold isn't happy that you're not watching. This is true. And the machine. And what was she called? Root. She comes a little bit later. She's not in there yet. Not really sure what happens with her. I gave up around that time. Gave up's not the right word. I lost touch with it when Root came into it. Well, it was on TV when it was being broadcast. Here in Spain, that probably would have been, would it? I'm not sure. I think I was watching it in the UK way back, maybe. I think so. But yeah, no, I have to get back on board with that. But I've ended up my time when I'm just killing time, which is most of the time, spent quite a bit of time manipulating solar panels, turning them around for direction and also for slope, for gradient, for and getting power into the EcoFlow so that I can get it out and into the slow cooker this week. In particular, the slow cooker this week, because without gas, my gas ran out on, that had been Monday or Tuesday. I was trying to soak the chickpeas, and I was trying to boil the water to just soak them in hot water, and the hot water the water just never boiled. 20, 25, 30 minutes, and I turned it off, and when I went back later, I couldn't even light it. So I'm out of gas. Is the upshot there? I've got, roughly speaking, this is not an exact figure, but I got 20 euros on my card, and I got a 10 euro note in my pocket. But I probably need 30 or thereabouts in either cash or on the card to pay for a new gas bottle up at the petrol station. But I don't want to risk going up there when I don't know the price and I don't know the score, and I've no idea. Can I pay the tenner in cash and 20 on the card? Can you split a bill across two payment methods? What if it's more than 30? What if it's 32? I don't know. It's all a little bit awkward, but I'll survive, folks. Let's not panic. I've got the slow cooker. I've got electricity. I've got food. I'm not in any danger. I got a little bit of beer left over. I got a bottle of wine. If we went long tonight, I could power up. I could open up the bottle of wine. I don't think this is going to be a long stream, though. I don't see this being a 3-4 hour one. More than likely 2 hours or less, to be honest, which may come as a relief for some of you. But yeah. But I think I mentioned the other day, I've been downloading like kids TV just as a my recollection of kids TV. The Mr. Men, Mr. Ben, Magic Roundabout. I had a look to see if I could download the Rainbow. Couldn't find Rainbow. If anybody's out there that does the whole torrenty thing, you could like seed. If you've got Rainbow, you could seed a few episodes for a silly old man who wants to look back at his childhood. I do like the rude Rainbow ones that they've put online. Yeah, they're not that rude, but you know, they've got a few swear words and innuendo. For anyone abroad, Rainbow was a kids program with kind of basically glove puppets, I guess. A guy called Zippy, who you could zip his mouth, George was a pink hippopotamus, pink, very gay, very camp hippopotamus. There was Bungle, who was a man in a bear suit, and Jeffrey, who was the human that acted as the father of the house, I guess. And later on, you had Rod, Jane, and Freddie, who were people who came in and did little skits, little pieces, songs, and stuff in between. So when I say rainbow, I'm not talking about your reading rainbow that you have in the US, with Geordie LaForge. That's more akin to our Jackanory, I would guess. Jackanory was a program where people read to you. Each week it would be a different. There were stars. I mean, you had some really well-known people on there, but they would read a book to you over the course of 5 20-minute or 30-minute episodes. So abridged versions, I assume. Yeah. Rose has changed her name again, where we are at. Hello, handsome, she says. Sober tonight, so no, I love yous. I prefer drunk. I prefer drunk Rose. Hope you're doing great. We are indeed, my darling. We are indeed doing okay. Yeah, we're all okay. Darren, hold on. Darren came in. Darren, let's go, champ. Evening, Mike. How's things? Everything's fine, mate. Everything's fine, I think. Oh God, no. I'm not going to talk about that. A little toiletry accident late this afternoon, but no, I'm not going to talk about that online. I think they'd capped the gas price at some point in Spain. That's possible. Jack Attacked. Yeah. There was talk of such things. You see, I don't follow the news, so when I hear that something's been capped, I wouldn't necessarily hear when it was uncapped. So I don't know if that's still a thing. I don't know if it was mains gas, which for many years they said they weren't going to do in Spain, because Spain has earthquake kind of zones, fault lines. So for a long time they were never going to do mains gas, but then they started doing it with flexible pipes, and then you had all the scammers doing the door-to-door selling that you get whenever anything new is available. When I first moved here, I was in an apartment block in the centre of town for 3 months, and you could hear other people's doorbells, and you could hear all the doorbells going, and someone would let the fucker in, and then you've got knocks at the door trying to sell you gas, and it's like, I'm a tenant, mate. I nothing to do with me. Fuck off. But you try to say this in a foreign language. Did someone deal with the little so-and-sos who were throwing stones at you? I'm not sure. Nobody's told me anything, but they never came back. Now, whether this was this would have been possibly the last day before school holidays for the Easter break. I don't know. Nobody's been back. Nobody's told me anything's happened. But I could imagine when a video goes out like that and it's labelled Torrevieja, if somebody sees it and knows who they are, if someone tells their dad, hey, your kid's on a video online after throwing stones at a tramp, maybe dad's... I'll do a slap rather than a punch. Maybe dad's given them a... I've no idea. Nobody's told me. If I was the parents and that had happened, I'd be dragging little Johnny or little Juanito. I'd be dragging little Juanito down here to say sorry in person. But who knows? I don't know. Nobody's told me anything. Zami, hello, evening, Mike. What are you reading at the moment? I'm not. I haven't really read, other than newspapers and and blog posts and things. Um, I'm not reading any books at the minute. All my time is kind of taken up with all my spare time. I'm a little bit bored, really, with some of these sci-fi things I'm watching on YouTube. AI sci-fi stories. HFY is the key word. It stands for humanity. Fuck yeah! We always win. You know, some aliens find some little blue green planet that they decide they want to invade, and we beat their ass. Um, or maybe we join the Intergalactic Council, and they decide to ban us because for whatever reason, and we tell them to fuck off, and they bring a fleet to come and invade and teach us, and we wipe them out. Why is your PayPal not working? No, my PayPal should be working. Can anyone test and verify? Is there a problem with my PayPal link? It should work. I've had money from other. Oh, look at that! The if is right up against the if needs removing from the link. Oh, bugger. Oh, bugger. Remove the IF at the end of the link if you can, and it'll work. That's new. How has that happened? Yeah, I've messed that up. It ends at the A, Torrevieja. The IF should not be at the end of that link, and I don't think. Oh, can I? I can. I can do that from here. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna go do this. Look at this. Like I'm some sort of fucking technical genius. You'd almost think that computers was how I made my living once upon a time. I'm gonna go do the things. YouTube. Oh, but first I need the text. Text file, simple text. Ah, scroll. Here's a PayPal link. Right. How did the if end up? It doesn't look like it's part of it here. Hold on. I'm gonna go in. Your videos, live. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna silence that idiot. And I'm gonna paste the thing. Okay. I'm gonna paste that. And then I'm gonna whoa! Don't do that. No. Fuck off. And then I'm gonna replace pinned message. There we go. How did the if end up in the connected to the link? That's a little bit bizarre. Let me close that down. All right, folks. Sorry about that. It's almost. Jackie Dex posted it. I've posted my message. I hope I've replaced the pin mess. Although I've got a timer in the middle of the screen. Yeah, that looks better. Cheers, Jack. Jack's posted it as well. Hold on, I'm scrolling. AI is destroying World War II docs on YouTube. Really? Documentaries? Could be. Page not found. Yeah, the if was connected to the Torrevieja. It shouldn't have been. The link should have ended with the A. Jackatex says all three work. All three what? So yeah, if anybody does want to send me some pennies, it's always appreciated. No, what's the word? I've lost the words. All three links were all. What's the words? No obligation, folks. No obligations. Only if you've got it. Only if you've got it, and if you've got it to spare, and only if you want to. I have my haters who don't want to. Pinned +2 in chat. +2 links. Okay. Oh, you put the W's on the PayPal.com thing. Okay. I'm with you. I use the PayPal.me one, and you use the PayPal.com. Okay, I got you, mate. I got you. Cheers. Thank you, Jack Attack. That's my Scottish friend, Jack. Should really be Jock. Why are you not Jock Attack? It will. It should indeed be working now that now that any one of the 3 links posted, the newly pinned one or the 2 that are in chat. But yeah. Oh, my arm's gone dead already. Already dead. Is that you, babe? Are you okay? What's going on back here? Hello, you. Nuzzling and snuzzling. You're gorgeous. Because you're gorgeous. There's nobody else like you. Can I come in for the kiss? On the forehead. There's my girl. There's my girl. I know. She's rubbing her head against the picnic blanket. One of the 2 original picnic blankets from way back before I was homeless. I think I had those before I had a dog. I moved into what's the road called? Avenida La Mancha. La Mancha. In that area, all of the roads are named after Cervantes tilting at windmills. What's he called? The bloke that fights windmills in his head. I see your hair looks lovely. Karen must have done a good job again. She did on Good Friday, I think it was. She came around. If I type tilting at windmills. Tilting at windmills. Come on, give me the name of the fucker. Cervantes was the author. Don Quixote. Fuck. And Sancho Panza. Something like that. Gary, hello, Gary in South Africa. Yes, it's working now, says. Okay. I did put do not disturb on the phone, so Rose, thank you. You didn't have to do that much. Thank you. I can now go and well, I need Karen to transfer it onto my card, but then I can go and get some gas. Thank you. I still have to work out whether it's propane or butane that I need. I don't understand why when I was looking at, obviously I can just, if I just take the bombilla, the canister back to the petrol station, I just take it back and they replace it with the same thing. Bombona de butano e propano. Yeah, but which? It's the one that's orange and blue. It's got a plastic inner lining. I was looking earlier and it didn't. These are not the right. That one. You see that? You see that? I don't know whether you can see that. It's orange and blue. What is it? That's my one. So it's a metal outer. It's got a plastic inner shell, inner bottle. Gas bottle refills in Spain. I think I've read that before, but I don't know what that is. It says 12.5 kilograms. I was told 14. Anyway, whatever. Working now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don Quixote. You were too slow, Jack. I'm sure I got there before you. Happy Friday, Rose here. It is indeed Rose. Hello. Eating blue cheese. It's so lovely. Oh, I do love a good blue cheese. I, I'm torn whether to go with like a hard blue, like something like a Stilton, or whether to go with something soft like a Danish blue or Santa Gueux. Is it the French one? Santa Gueux? I like both. They're both in their different ways. Alonso Chicano. Is that right? I don't know that one. LPG composite cylinders is the new generation LPG cylinder set to be a replacement to the conventional metal LPG. Yeah, this is like a hybrid. Oh, Gary, hello, young Mike. I didn't see the young. I don't think I saw the young Mike part. I don't know about the young. The white hair would tend to go against the idea of being young. Going back to Jack Attack and his Don Quixote. Yeah, Don isn't a name, is it? It's an appellation. It's like Sir or Lord. It's a yeah, and I guess with him being a knight, at least in his dreams. Yeah, the Don nomenclature would work. How's Tina? Asked Gary. She's fine, mate. She's fine. She has her ups and downs. Her front left leg is definitely going. When I'm walking her, she keeps staggering in front of me, which means I said a while ago, when I can't walk her, we'll have to review where we're at. She doesn't have too much of a life at the minute. I walk her, we have friends come round and she's always happy to see them, and in her own head she's fine, but her body is not working. Her legs, her bowels and her bladder aren't entirely under her control anymore. If the front legs go as well, what have we got? We can lay on the bed and cuddle and play, but other than that, things get messy. And but she's great in and of herself. Street naming, yeah, around that area, Avenida de la Mancha. All of the streets are related to Don Quixote and the author. Yeah. Gary, we now have 8 dogs here, all rescues, and then with my pit bulls, 9 dogs on the property. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. Blue cheese is the one that stinks. They all kind of stink in their own way. As long as they don't stink too badly. So like things like Danish blue and Centigur. Stilton tastes probably the strongest of the bunch. Maybe I would suggest, but not so much smell. Some of these things are made by introducing mites, little insects, into the cheese. But when you think that cheese is milk that's gone bad anyway, how do you have cheese go bad? Milk goes bad, makes cheese. Cheese goes bad. What is that? That's not even... It's already milk that's gone bad. You can't... I don't know. I have had some cheeses go really fucking really bad though. When they're in the bottom of a bag and you've forgotten about them, or in the bottom of the fridge even and you forget about them. I hate wasting food, folks. I hate wasting food. But it happens. I've had a couple of oranges. I had another cloud of flies in here, was it yesterday or the day before? And when I looked, I've got these 4 bags on the floor with almost nothing in them. I've kind of forgotten about them. I'm kind of standing on them, walking past them. And when I look inside, there's a couple of oranges that are just totally green. Well, blue. Bluey green, anyway. Yeah, I fucked up again. Yeah. I looked inside, saw the orange, saw the swarm of flies inside the bag, and just threw the bag out the door. Tomorrow, there's maybe 2. I think I've thrown 2 bags of something out. There's also some poo bags from Tina out there. Tomorrow I'll get a carrier bag, a shopping bag, and have a clean up out there. And yeah, it's less than ideal. I hate that people bring me stuff and that it then goes to waste. What happens is you get like, it's like feast or famine. You'll get weeks where nobody comes. Then you go shopping. Let's say I go shopping and actually buy some stuff, rare as that might be. And then 3 people will come in the next 5 days and give you 2 shopping bags each full of food. And it's always the stuff you've just bought. You've just bought 5 kilograms of potatoes and 3 kilograms of onions, and then they bring you potatoes and onions. And what do? You can't say no to people, but you feel like turning around to them and saying, why didn't you come 2 days ago? A little bit like, so I bought a second, this, hold on. I think I can show you this without being too embarrassed by anything around it. This is my second EcoFlow. This is the one that Obi acquired from some friends and sold to me at a good discount. So this is 250 watt hours, so a quarter of a kilowatt hour. He then comes to me 2 weeks later and says, hey, I've been offered this Bluetti 100 something version 2, basically 4 times the storage of this. Four. I was doing that, but 4 times the storage for €200. That's like an extra €40 above what I just paid him for this. For 4 times the storage. Why didn't it come 2 weeks ago? I would have loved something with like a kilowatt hour like that. Either the Bluetti V100, whatever it's called, Or I mean, my preference, you know, I like EcoFlow. The EcoFlow Delta range, EcoFlow Delta 2 or Delta 3. Um, these things drop into your lap when you can't afford them because you've just bought something else. Um, what do you do, folks? What do you do? I'm happy with what I've got. I've got two devices and two solar panels. Oh, three technically. The old one would still work at half power. Can be daisy chained in, set in series with some on cloudier days if needed. You make the decisions at the time that you make them, don't you? And then you got to ride with them. You can't regret them. I could have had something 4 times better for an extra 40 quid, 40 euros. I don't know. What do you do? Torrevieja features several streets themed around Miguel de Cervantes. That's him. Don't go, particularly in the Torreta 3 area. Okay, we're nowhere near there. This is Aguas Nuevas, New Waters, Aguas Nuevas. But there's a whole estate there where all of the streets are named after characters or characters in the book or places from the book. Yeah. The horse. Okay, okay. Jack Attack is off doing the Wikipedia thing. The area includes approximately 5 streets named after Don Quixote, 6 for Dulcinea maybe, 2 for Sancho Panza, and others honouring his horse. You look lovely, Mike. The white hair and beard suits you perfectly. So young. Mike is good. I think Rose is on the verge of opening the wine again. Don't tell me that I'm eating insects. Hold on, where did that come from? Oh, Karen, hello, hello. Just saying a quick hello. Been a long day, Karen. That was at 47. It's now 53. Yeah, folks. Karen was up at I think she left the house this morning just after 4 to go to the airport and do the things. She landed back in the UK and then went to work. Karen saying 9 dogs. Wow, that must keep you busy. She's got 6 or 7 running around most of the time. Rose keeps thinking she wants a dog. Hard work. They're not really hard work. They look after them. At best, my advice to anyone who was getting a dog would be to get 2 or 3. They look after them. They look after each other. They take care of them. You can just leave them, and they'll play and wander around and interact with each other. When I lived in the house with Christian, and we had his dog, little Kira, the dogs would just all day just had to walk Tina twice a day, minimum twice a day. She could go like 18 hours, up to 18 hours in between pee or poo breaks. But but you want to aim really to be walking them 3 or 4 times a day. But it can be quite minimal. If you're not in the mood, you can just do like a 5 or 10 minute walk and be out and back. Bigger walks on the other, longer walks for the other walks, but yeah, they're not that much work. Once they get older and things start falling off, when the back legs aren't working, you got to carry them around, carry the back end while they walk. That's a bit physical, but that's not every dog. That's not all of them all the time. Usually this compost for some kind of veggies. I'm lost. Murphy's Law. These are my oranges that went bad. Absolutely a long day. Yeah, well, it will have been because you guys. She flew back to the UK, starting at fucking four, leaving at 4 in the morning, so getting up at 3 probably. She had clients lined up. She's been cutting their hair this afternoon or evening. When I joke about now with Karen, I'm not fucking kidding you. She flies home and she doesn't even build in 6 hours or 12 hours of rest after traveling. It's now. She went straight to work. Did you even get to the house before you went to work? What the fuck? All German Shepherds, apart from your doggo Argenito Pitbull. He's still adjusting to them. I've just moved here recently. Definitely get 2, sometimes 3 is difficult, but 6 is fine. Alsatians. No, we know German Shepherds. We know the words. We invented the term Alsatian during the First World War when we didn't want to say German. So we pretended that breed of dogs was from Alsace, which is a region. Is it in Belgium or France? Alsace. It was a way of pretending that they weren't German Shepherds because we didn't want to acknowledge German. Over here, they're Pastor Alemania. Let me just have a quick look here. Oh, Hannah, you don't have to do that. Thank you. Scrolling. I got home at 13:15 and started work at 1400. 1400 hours. They do indeed use them in the police force and security companies. Yeah. I think all British police dogs are German Shepherds, or Alsatians if you prefer. I haven't got a next beer here waiting. Except for the, I have the tripod. Let me do the tripod thing. Here we go. I'm trying to remember. No, these are not the ones that Anthony brought me. So the only visitor I've had this week, I believe, was Anthony and his brother, whose name I neglected to make a note of. First time I met Anthony's brother. I've met most of the rest of the family now. Wife, son, wife's sisters, but Anthony's brother. And he brought me, as his kind of his tradition, I guess. He brought me a 12-pack of beer 2 or 3 days ago. I think that might have gone by now. I think I'm on to the next ones. Technically, I'm on to the ones that I already had prior to him coming, I think. Bill's dropping help, overwork most. They're words. I'm not sure if it's a sentence, Keith. Bill's dropping help. I get that. Overwork. Yeah, well, you got to earn the pennies. Yeah, Karen's got 6 dogs. Yeah. They're all little ankle biters. I think they argue about whose is whose. She has her one, and then her mum and some of the others, and oh, is that what they are? They're Shih Tzus. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. With the emphasis on. I'm gonna shut up. I don't know. I don't want to lose. I don't want to fall out with Karen. She's too important in my life. Oh, Karen, did you see that Job is back in touch with me? But only through YouTube comments. He switched phones, and when you switch phones, WhatsApp WhatsApp maintains separate backups for each device you have. So it doesn't just have one backup of all of your contacts. If you've got a set of contacts on phone A and a set on phone B, when you switch back, when you put your SIM card back in phone A, it downloads the backup of phone A's contacts, and any contacts you've added on phone B in the meantime disappear. So he's back in touch. I think he's having phone issues, but he didn't come through. He didn't indicate an order or anything. So, and he's got to wait until you come back anyway, if he does have one. But yeah, he is alive. I'm in touch with him. That's the main point I'm making. I was worried when he disappeared for a week, folks. And this is the guy who used to live in the field here, and who he moved away and went on his pilgrimage. He's not actually religious, but he went and did a tour on his bike around the country. Had to cut it short after a friend died. Came back here. Oh, excuse me. Hey. But recently, when I got my 2 new solar panels, we tried ordering him a foldable, flexible solar panel, and it just didn't work. So Karen sent it back, and she very kindly offered to put another order through for him if he wanted to buy a replacement. But he didn't respond for over a week, so we were a little bit worried. But apparently he's alive and well, and just been offered a better, even better than my EcoFlows. He's been offered the Bluetti something or other V100 version 2 or something. I don't know what it's called. But yeah. Karen started with 2 dogs, then they had puppies, and we just kept them. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to find them a home and give them away or sell them or pass them along. Keeping them, they breed like bunnies. You'll end up with more and more and more. Hey, folks, we found one a new home. And now that one feels really left out and rejected. When he hears that you kept all the rest, but you fucked him off to someone else. He's now got some kind of syndrome. He'll have to be taken to a doggy psychologist or psychiatrist. The difference between psychology and psychiatry, folks. Drugs. Psychiatry is medicinal, it's drug based. Psychology is behavioral. We have to inject some element of learning each week. You're getting a little worried. Coco's putting on weight. I hope the operation worked on Barney. Oh, you think that one of them might have impregnated the other? You might have a doggy bun in the oven. Well, there'll be more than one, won't it? What do they put out? 6, 8? How many do they do? I don't know about little dogs. I don't know about little dogs if it's the same. But yeah. A friend of the channel, Roger, he had a dog that was preggers and that had, I can't remember, somewhere between 6 and 8. But unfortunately, she wasn't a very experienced mother, and she kept rolling over on them. When he got up in the morning, there'd be another dead pup. Didn't have many of them last. Don't know if you're out there, Roger. Don't know if you haven't seen you. I don't think. That would be a disaster, especially if they're if they're inbreeding as well. Yeah. Um, Probably get away with it for 1 or 2 generations, but not too many. Yeah. Okay, folks. Wow, the numbers are picking up a little bit. People out there. The channel is Delta Mike Down and Out in Torrevieja. Delta Mike, that would be me. Down and Out in Torrevieja. Well, down and out. Homeless. A tramp, a hobo, a vagrant. Hold on. Rose, well, handsome, I'm working and I'm telling my colleagues about you and they think you're a cool guy. I'm at work. Okay. Well, hello to Rose and Rose's colleagues in the nursing home, yeah? Hi. I don't know about this handsome stuff and I don't know about this cool guy business, but okay, thank you. Okay, hold on. Karen said no, it's the mother and father. Okay, so you think that they're just at it again? Hey babe, hey babe, you're okay. You're okay. Where are you? Where's your head? That's your head. That's the back of your head. I don't know if she's having a dream or a fit. Just a dream, maybe. It's quieting down. Now that I stroke her. Hey babe. Sometimes I think she has seizures. He had a whelping box specially made for the puppies. I have no idea what a whelping box is. I assume it's somewhere where you put the young uns and the mum can't roll over onto them. Or does mum go in there with them? I don't know. We'll pop in here now and then to check conversations. Busy night, Friday night at work. But Rose likes to speak with Mike. I shall be back. Bye for now. Okay, Rose. Catch you later. I bet all the residents find him handsome. I can't. This talk of. Listen, look. All my life, I was the ugly guy. God, I can't tell you how ugly I was. Kids returned the school photos. Girls laughed and said, nice legs, shame about the face. I walked into the corner shop and everyone burst out laughing. In front of me, like laughing about me behind my back but to my face. This talk of he's a handsome guy is just ridiculous. I mean, I like it, I appreciate it, but it's nonsense. What the fuck are you talking about? Am I one of those blokes who's gonna be when I get to the old folks' home? I'm gonna be I'm gonna be hot to trot. The fuck? It's ridiculous. I'm embarrassed just acknowledging that you're saying it. Okay, folks. Can if I had access to the technology, I'd put up a poll, hot or not. Cheers, thank you. I guess it's a bit of an ego stroke. I'll take it. It's about the only stroke I'm gonna get. Well, until I have some sort of aneurysm or something. Is a stroke an aneurysm's not the right word, is it? Hold on. What's an ischemic event? Ischemia? Is that a stroke? Hold on. We're off. We have to learn. Medical word for stroke. I'm gonna go with ischemia. A medical word for stroke. Not in Spanish, no. I know what a stroke is. That's not the question. Ischemic stroke. So I know there are two types of stroke. One's a blockage and one's a leakage. So ischemic is the blockage, blocking an artery in the brain, and a hemorrhagic is a leak, burst. Wet brain, they call it with alcoholics and druggies, people who haven't looked after themselves properly. I think it's vitamin B1 or B12. I'd need a medical person or Google to correct me. I'm going to go B12. I'm going to say stroke and lack of B12 and see what Google says. See whether it corrects me. The medical condition directly caused by a lack of vitamin B12 that can lead to a stroke-like event is hyperhomocysteine. I butchered that. Hyperhomocysteine. I butchered it again. Nothing I can do about it. That's as close as I get. Elevated level of homocysteine in the blood. That's not where I was going. I was looking at the leak. Vitamin B12 deficiency leads to high whatever levels which damage blood vessel linings and endothelial function, promotes blood clotting, thrombosis. Something went clunk. I hope it wasn't a mousetrap. And causes arteriosclerosis. That's not the one I'm going for. That's the blockage. I was looking for wet brain. What's wet brain? Wet brain. It might be B1 rather than B12. B1. Thiamine. Wet brain or Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome, WKS, is a severe chronic neurological disorder caused by a severe deficiency of vitamin B1, thiamine, most commonly resulting from chronic alcohol misuse. It presents in two stages: Wernicke's encephalopathy, love that word, acute confusion, loss of muscle coordination, eye issues, and Korsakoff's psychosis, severe memory loss and cognitive decline. While early treatment with thiamine can prevent damage, untreated cases are often fatal, resulting in permanent dementia-like brain damage. That's the one I was thinking of, folks. Not 12, B1. Let me scroll. Let me scroll. There's Karen saying about all the residents find him handsome. I like the ego stroke, but I don't know what the fuck you're on about. Be careful, Jack Attack might put up a poll. I'm not sure if you can mods do a poll, because I can't from here. If I had the full there's a live studio. I'm not. I don't know the right terminology, but uh, wet brain is too much alcohol. It is. I helped out at an alcohol and drug rehabilitation center, and alcohol abuse affects the liver, causing the processing of vitamin B1, as I now know it to be. It inhibits the proper processing of vitamins. They don't get used. So even if you have, I think even if you have the intake, um, it it it, it doesn't get used fully. But also, alcoholics tend not to eat much. They tend to neglect food in you know, and only take on booze. Um, so they're getting sugar, say, from beer, and they're getting alcohol's its own food group. I don't know if you know this, but when you look at carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, alcohol is its own entirely separate food group. Um, I don't know why I'm smiling while I say that, but it is. It doesn't. There is, after the brewing process, there's often sugar left over in alcohol, uh, except in like a really dry wine, or like a really dry red. Sweet wines obviously have sugar in. Beer has quite a bit of sugar left in it. Lagers and bitter, or IPAs, whatever you want to call them. Um, but spirits not so much, because it's all been most of it's been brewed out to make you 30 and 40% proof. No, don't say percent and proof in the same sentence. They're different things. 30 and 40% by volume, 80 proof if you're going to go by old money. Um, so the sugar gets brewed out of spirits, but there's a lot left in certainly sweet wines and beers. Um, but alcohol itself is its own entire separate food group. But alcoholics tend not to look after themselves very well. They don't eat much, and that leads to vitamin deficiencies. So if they're not even taking the vitamins in for the body to fail to process, they're going to get stuck, and that's where these leakages occur. The weakening of the arteries in the brain, or up to and around the brain. There isn't that much blood flow around in the brain, but the weakening of arteries and things causes them to leak, and you get those ischemic events, those strokes. Yeah, it's my understanding of it. Brain made of cholesterol. A high proportion of it is, yeah, yeah. Um, it's a fatty. The brain is a fatty substance, and the blood-brain barrier means that there's not a lot of blood in and around the brain, but there are certain pathways around and through. Oh, I've missed. What have I missed? Okay. Karen said, I bet all of the residents find him handsome. And Rose said they do. Okay, wet brain is too much alcohol. Yeah. Brain made of cholesterol. Total respect for carers and the job that they do. We all do. We all really should respect carers more. Thank you, darling Karen. This is Rose. Thank you, darling Karen. They do a great job. We all do with what we. Hold on. We all do with what you do. Look what you do with Mike's. Okay. She's basically saying that they respect and like what you do with my hair and my beard trim and everything. Catch you later, Rose. Keep keep well, handsome. You're doing great. I'm surviving. I'm hanging on. That's all I'm doing. This entire endeavour. I'll be honest, folks. Sometimes I feel like the system wants me dead, and I'm rubbing it in their face just by staying here, just by keeping. There was a blockade. There was a police thing at the top of the road the other day. They were stopping some proportion of cars going past, and pulling them over and searching their boots, and I got no idea what the justification was for just random searches, random stops and searches. But they were there at the top. I was outside. I was looking at them. They were looking at me, but they've left me alone. I think they've learnt that I'm out of their reach. Which means there's this thing at the minute where the Spanish government are allowing foreigners who are here illegally, such as me, to become legal. There's an amnesty. There's a thing you can do, but only if you haven't got a criminal record. But the bastards forced me to have a criminal record, didn't they? So the process won't work for me. So I just remain. I just keep going. I feel like the system is rigged against me. I feel like I've got no way out. But I just hang on. I just persevere. I adapt and overcome. I didn't arrive here illegally, no. But now that when Brexit happened, technically we were given like a 3-month visa, nominally, without actually being given one. We were nominally given a visa for 3 months. And I'm still here, so I've outstayed that visa. So I'm now an illegal immigrant. And despite the fact that they've put a system in place to legalize illegal immigrants, I don't qualify because they forced me to have a criminal record by coming and demanding my ID, even though I was on private land. Public order offence type thing, but on private land. But they denied it was private land, and my lawyer just, that's not what they said. Bitch. Overstayer, I am an overstayer, yeah. And that means that when I try and leave the country, I will be dragged off the plane or not even allowed on the plane, and dragged into a darkened room, questioned, interrogated, fined, or either fined or given an exclusion order so I can't come back either can't come back to Spain or maybe can't come back to Schengen for X number of years. And we'll have to see. Excuse me, I've got the burps. We'll have to see how that goes. Why is that not charging? Now it's charging. The USB-C port on this new EcoFlow is a bit dodgy. Apparently the original owners were a bit rough with it when they had it. I have an adapter I can put in the 12-volt cigarette lighter socket, as I would call it. Car distribution port. Car power distribution port, I think, is the modern term. It's a fucking cigarette lighter socket. You got to say the words, folks. Just because nobody smokes anymore doesn't mean it's not a cigarette lighter socket. I have an adapter I could put in there, and then I could plug into that, and that would be more stable. But I do just every now and again, If I'm going to use the built-in, the main one, I do just have to check the power every now and again. Overstayer spent now. What's spent? My conviction? Oh, I doubt it. I certainly haven't paid the fine. I'm in trouble sooner or later. I need access to my money to pay the fine so that I can get out of the country to go and get my money. Now, if anybody can spot the kind of the tautology, the circular logic, if you can spot it's not a Mexican standoff, but it's the other one. You did indeed, Hannah. Thank you. I saw that. Thank you. I think I said thank you at the time. Maybe you weren't. Maybe you weren't here. You might have still been up on PayPal when I said thank you. Much appreciated. You've gone from legal to overstaying to lawful man. I'm not lawful at the minute, I don't believe. I'm an outlaw. Just call me Josie Wales or Robin Hood. I don't know. If I start wearing Lincoln Green, get worried. If I get a bow and arrow. Give us a minute. Take the one from the back. That way, if it all falls over, empty goes at the back. Oh, there's a lot of flying. Oh, I had to escort a moth out of the tent earlier. That's the first. That's a first for this year. I haven't had much dealings with moths for a while, but I did. We had one in here. I took the lamp with me, and it followed and swooped around. Eventually, I grabbed it and helped it outside. I don't like to kill moths. I haven't got a problem with moths, except for when they're on the other side of the fabric and they're just fucking annoying all night. Moths I've got no problems with. Spiders I'll just kill on sight. I had something else on me the other day. I went like that and there was a fucking insect in my hand and I had no idea what it was because I'd crushed it to shit before I threw it towards the bin. It had gone already. Only ever had 2 cucarachas, 2 cockroaches in the tent in the 4 years I've been here. I expect it's a scouting party comes out, and if it goes back and tells them that there's a source of food, then you get more. But I've intercepted both. Yeah, don't know. Go from legal to overstaying to lawful, man. Not exactly lawful, no. There was Hannah saying I put some money in your bank account. You did indeed. I thank you very much. PayPal technically, but yeah. All you have to do is register your fingerprints on the way out of Spain. You could have arrived by car on the Eurotunnel. They aren't doing the prints yet. Not for Gibraltar. You see, Gibraltar, you go into Gibraltar, no problem. It's when you leave Gibraltar for the UK. Gibraltar has agreed to be an exit point for Schengen, even though you've already left Schengen when you go to Gibraltar. Yeah, you can bus to Gibraltar. You can walk into Gibraltar. Yeah, no problem. But if you try and catch a plane from Gibraltar to the UK, then they do the Schengen exit stuff. You're leaving the EU at that point. It's a weird compromise that Gibraltar reached, agreeing to do their donkey work for people leaving. So yeah, there are some weird things like that where you can walk in, but if you fly out, then they do as if you're leaving Spain. So the computers will grab you. Been thinking a lot about what people were saying the other week about growing some fruit and veg or whatever here. I don't think it would be economically like viable, but I might do it just for the hobby of it. Um, I think people were talking about potatoes last week. I think we're too late for planting potatoes in Spain. The hot Spanish sun will be here soon. Um, but I might research what else I could do. If I get some grow bags, some compost grow bags, a few buckets or pots. Um, there are some things I could grow, but I don't think potato. I think we're too late for potatoes. We would have had to plant those a couple of months ago. Um, see, I watch a lot of gardening. You know, I don't know if you know, but I'm a prepper at heart. It, heart's not up here, is it? Heart's down here. I'm a prepper at heart, even if I haven't prepared properly for the shit that life brings. Um, but I like to keep watching and learning and but I'm watching these things from a UK perspective. What would I be growing and when would I be planting it if I was in the UK? I'm not in the UK. So I'd have to take a whole different vector. I got to steer off into a whole different territory about what to grow and when in Spain, and whether they can take full sun or whether they need to be in shade. There's very little shade around here, very little. When the sun's overhead, I'm in a field in Spain. I got one. When I moved here, there's a little tree outside the door here. And when I say a little tree, I mean about my height, plus or minus a bit. When I moved here, that was a weed. 4 years ago, that was a little. Honestly, I could have trod on it and broke it. Um, Now it's a fucking tree. But what to grow and when to grow in Spain? How much money to invest? Will I have the water to maintain these things? Because I don't have a lot of. This is the biggie, the water question. If I start growing veg, I'm putting upon other people to fetch me water. That doesn't feel right. Karen needs her bed. I would imagine that you do, darling. After the day you've had, um, yeah, up at 3 or 4 this morning to travel back to the UK and then to start working immediately within the hour. Did you say? Um, yeah. Catch you later, Karen. Good night. Thistles and dandelions are food. Thistles, nettles, dandelion. Yeah, nettles in particular. I don't know about thistles. Nettles and dandelions. Yeah, they're food. Burdock, dock. Yeah. Dandelion and burdock. That whole thing. You can make foods or drinks or whatever out of them. Um, I don't know how prevalent. I see things in Spain that look like dandelions, but they're different. And I don't know if they're a different version of the same thing. You can't trust AI with these things. Did you see there was a video a few weeks ago? This woman, she sees something that looks like wild carrot leaves, like the leaves of wild carrots. And she asks Grok or whichever one of them. And it says, "Oh yeah, no, those are carrots, definitely, definitely." And she says, like, "Are you sure?" Because there's something that's really rather deadly that looks like carrot leaves and carrots, and it's like a purple stripy carrot. I think hemlock. I think it's the one, isn't it? The one that was it Socrates? It's the one that Socrates was killed with, wasn't it? Hemlock, deliberately. I think he chose suicide. I hate you. You're okay, babe. You're okay. It's okay. Relax. Relax. And she had this conversation with whichever AI it was, and in the end, she asks her friend, and her friend says, "Fuck no, fuck no, that's hemlock, clear as day. That's fucking just no, just no." And this woman, she'd asked about 4 or 5 times, "Are you sure? Can you confirm? But isn't that a purple and white? Isn't purple and yellow stripe? Isn't that a sign of hemlock?" And she, there's this back and, no, 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 that's a carrot. Fucking hemlock. Do you know how much of that you have to eat to be dead? Any. There's not there's not an amount of that that you can digest and still be alive after. It's you eat it, you're dead. It's not like you've got to eat 6 carrot-shaped things or 12 or no. You put it in your mouth, you're dead. Don't trust AI with that shit. Artificial idiots for the AI. Yeah. I'm sure one day it'll be great, but we're in the early days and it's not there yet. And you know how computer stuff is. It gets better over time. It used to be you asked it to make an image and it'd have a hand with 6 or 7 fingers. Now that the finger problem's gone, it gets better over time. But for now, I wouldn't be trusting that if I was trying to forage or if I'm looking at any kind of plants in any kind of situation. By all means, Google stuff and go to an actual web page and find someone who knows what they're talking about. But for stuff that's life or death, don't acknowledge that AI. It has its place. When I'm asking what's the name of this or what's the name of that, and it pops up and I'm, oh yeah, that's the one. Great. Quick answer to a quick something or nothing question with no consequences. Is this poisonous? Is this a carrot or is this hemlock? If it's life and death, don't trust that shit. You can't trust that shit. Don't even try and trust that shit. Don't even ask that shit the question. What's the point? What's the point of asking it the question when you can't believe the answer anyway? Not when it's life or death. Look at these lawyers at the minute. There are people going to court putting forward arguments based upon this case A and case B and case C, and everything says I win. And then the judge looks at it and case A and C don't exist. The AI just dreamt them up. Don't do that. Oh, folks. Oh, I wasn't up at 4 in the morning. I was awake I probably was actually. Oh, I woke the doggy at 5. So not too dissimilar to Karen. But yeah. Stop feeding the bots. This is the thing. Did you hear about the people who? There's this lady who releases music. She plays, I think she said, the banjo, and someone else trained an AI specifically on her music, and then asked the AI to make its own music based on her style and whatever, and it did. And elements of it were so similar to her music, they then copyrighted theirs and blocked her. She got blocked for ripping off their music when she never did. It's the other way around. Their bot ripped her entire library off She got banned on YouTube for plagiarizing their work. And you go through the appeals process, and the appeals process is the same AI that banned you. You get an automated response 45 seconds after you place an. You ask for a human appeal, a human review. 45 seconds later, we've reviewed it. No, you're banned. What a surprise! The same AI that banned you reviewed itself and found it did nothing wrong, but that you did. And YouTube is full on pro AI at the minute. It is, they're welcoming it. Like I said, I listen to these sci-fi stories. That's kind of my afternoon. Once I've moved the panels around a certain amount and there's nothing else to do, I'll put a story on, I'll relax, I'll sit here with usually with a coffee, and close my eyes, listen to the story, and nod off to sleep. But all of these AI, all of these sci-fi stories are all AI driven. There's basically only 5 or 6 stories just being told in different ways with different verbiage. They're all very much of a muchness. 5 or 6 plot, 5 or 6 plot lines. Oh, that's my chili that I made earlier. I haven't done the rice yet, but the chili was fantastic. Thank you, Karen, for the Bisto granules. She's gone already, but Bisto. Beef gravy. They don't know what gravy is in Spain, you see. Judges are not judges, they're solicitors with 8 years or more service. I guess. Experience. Experience in the law. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. If the experience has been good and if you've been taught properly and if you've got a firm foundation to build from. America loses me with judges. They vote them in. How do you vote? Like they do for sheriffs as well. You get a guy who's never been a cop in his life can be voted in as a sheriff. You got people expressing a political opinion who get voted in as a judge. In the UK, civil servants, like judges, are supposed to hide their political opinion. We don't know, and they should never reveal their politics. And their family, their close family, shouldn't really reveal any bias either. That was always like the civil service code. School teachers weren't supposed to reveal their bias. All of this now with tranny flags and what have you in schools and LGBTQIIAW play away, way away. There's a reference from the 70s. PLAY. Away, away, way, away. No oaths or bonds, just affirmation. Yeah, which I haven't got a problem. See, I haven't got a problem with affirmation. I'm not religious, so I can't swear an oath or any of that. So I affirm if ever I'm in any kind of proceeding. I prefer the question of do you swear or affirm that this, and you can just say yes, I do, and you're not even revealing whether you're swearing or affirming. All of this hand on the Bible, wasn't it left hand on the Bible, right hand up? Because they used to burn. They used to, what's the word? Hot metal burn onto your hand. It begins with B, doesn't it? Brand. There you go. It's to brand your right hand if you're a criminal. So you put your left hand on the Bible and show. That's why you put your right hand up. There's nothing religious about putting your right hand up. It's to show that you haven't got a brand on your palm. That's not what you came here for. That's not why you called. But that is why that is what left hand on the Bible, right hand up. Because if you'd been branded as a criminal, it would be there on the palm of your hand. At other times and in other places, I think they did it on foreheads, but that's a little bit cruel. Like I said, I haven't got a problem with affirming. I affirm because I'm not religious. But okay, affirming to corporations, not the people of the sovereign imperial crown. You're making me yawn, says Robert. Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. I have just started yawning myself. And hello, Robert, by the way. Got no jurisdiction over the man or the woman. You see, this is a free man of the land shit again, isn't it, Keith? We have this, we go around in circles with some of these things. Hey, babe. Is that just you? Hold on. It is. That's just you having a. Is that a dream or a fit? I'm not sure. Love you. Daddy loves this girl. When she's having these spasms or whatever it is that she's doing in her sleep, might just be a dream. But if I stroke her and tell her I love her, it calms down. It's my girl, isn't it? Daddy loves his girl. Daddy loves his girl. Okay, folks, we're coming up on 2 hours. I don't know how much longer we're going to go today. Like I said, I haven't really prepared anything. I haven't really got anything. You just need to read 2C. The results you requested, e.g. BDW affidavit. BDW 2C. Don't know, mate. You throw out these strings of words. I'm not even sure the sentences sometimes. I'm not being cruel, but I can read each individual word, but it doesn't always make a sentence. I got no clue where we're going. I don't know if it's free man of the land or alderman or sovereign citizen, isn't it? I think that's more American, sovereign citizen. But sometimes you're a bit out there for me. I'm not entirely sure. Unrebutted since 2015 by all MPs, judicial authority, etc. What's unrebutted? This 2C thing that you're talking about. BDW affidavit. I don't know what BDW means. I know nothing. Okay, folks, we're coming up on 2 hours. Stands as fact and truth. Maybe. Delta Mike, down and out in Torrevieja. Delta Mike, that would be myself, your host for this evening, as we go from Friday night into Saturday morning in about 10 minutes here in Spain. I know you've got another hour to go back in the UK and another 5 hours after that, probably over in the US of A on the East Coast. The further over you are, add more hours. Delta Mike, down and out in Torrevieja, down and out. Well, that's homeless. A tramp, a hobo, a vagrant, an indigent person. A person of no fixed abode? Some might say a bum. Someone who lives rough, perhaps on the streets, or in my case, in a field. Unfortunately, nowadays, in a tent in a field. In Torrevieja, that's a city on the southeast coast of Spain. Costa Blanca South. About an hour, a little bit less than an hour south of Alicante. So if you've ever been to Benidorm, you land at Alicante and you kind of go northeast about an hour, a little bit less, 50 minutes maybe. Well, we're down, just go south the same distance for Torrevieja. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm stuck. People advised me to go to Benidorm instead and that I could make my fortune begging on the strip. I don't beg. I know you might find that hard to believe. I have a PayPal donate link here. If you could consider it. But I don't beg. Like I tried it once, standing outside a shop, saying good afternoon or to everybody who went past. And actually, I didn't hold out my hand. I had a cap on the floor. Tried it once. I was really, really uncomfortable with it. And hello, Marie. So I don't beg per se. I do this. I guess I do e-begging. I try and provide you with a little bit of. I don't know whether I could even call it entertainment, but I try to engage with you, talk with you, explain my circumstances, explain my week, ask you about your week. It's a conversation. And yeah, if every now and again somebody can donate to the PayPal link there, it's all to the good. And I thank anyone who does. And we've had a couple of donations today, so thank you for those. And I can now buy some gas to make more. I haven't had coffee for about a week now. Well, not since Sunday. Yeah. Now I can get now. Well, There's a couple of steps to go. I have to send money to Karen. Karen has to put money on my prepaid debit card, and then I can go and I can swap my gas bottle for swap my empty gas bottle for a full gas bottle. But we should get that sorted in the next couple of days, and I thank you all. ALAW, all leads, aren't we? I don't know what that means. Sorry, Keith. Clarify. Give us a clue, mate. I did say hello to Maria. She arrived. I think so. Stands as facts and truth. Unreported since. Yeah. Don't know, mate. I don't know. Thumbs up, folks, if you could. I always appreciate the thumbs up. I always like to try and get to 20. 20 thumbs ups is always a. I'm told. I don't know how much this is true, but when you hit 20, YouTube will look more favorably upon you and put out more alerts to people and bring more, and at least doesn't necessarily bring more people in, but it dangles a carrot in front of more people, gives more people the opportunity to select to come on in. We'll see how that goes. Thank you. Well, that was quite the uptick in thumbs ups. Thank you. So I think I asked earlier, how's everyone else's week gone? Mine's been a fairly basic, fairly standard, quiet week. In the entire week, I've only had one visitor to the field. Well, two visitors, one visitation. Anthony and his brother came to the field, brought me a pack of beer, and we sat and had a chat for an hour. He's elsewhere in the country now. He's gone elsewhere in Spain. UK Richie, it's the real UK Richie. Yeah, you're not the fake one. You're not the hater. Hello, my friend. UK, it is UK Richie. It is the real one, folks. Sorted courts and solicitors out. Oh. Solicitors need sorting out, but I haven't got any. But maybe one day. Did you take a look at that site, UK Richie? What did you think about the guy kind of being an imposter for you? I do my best not to advertise him, but for anyone who doesn't know, folks, I have my own hater. Since November or December last year, apparently there's been a channel out there trying to dox me and say nasty things about me, and he impersonates UK Richie here. He uses a name that's a deliberate, confusing kind of misspelling of UK Richie. Yeah, I have my own. I'm quite proud of the fact I've got. I'm quite proud that I've got my own hater channel. It's quite entertaining. Well, he's not entertaining to watch. I like the idea that I've got a hater channel. I guess is probably the better way of putting it. The real UK Richie says, I didn't look into it, probably should though. Yeah, I think you could perhaps complain that he's impersonating you, and yeah, you could perhaps take steps. I don't know. Some of the things the blog said, I think I could take steps. Oh, that's repeat. My chili is repeating on me. I think that's because I didn't do any rice with it. So far, I've had a bowl full. This is my bowl, folks. Okay, that's my bowl. Bloke in a field. You're live. When I have a bowl of porridge in the morning, that's my bowl. When I have a bowl of soup or a bowl of stew or a bowl of curry, that's my bowl. I had 2 bowls of chili tonight. So it is just catching up with me a little bit at times. But okay, folks, I think I keep asking you guys how, what kind of week have you all had? How's the weather where you are? Is everything okay? Back in what we got? We've got people in the UK. Have we got anyone in Ireland? I don't know whether we've got anyone in Ireland. We haven't got any of the Canucks or the Yanks here, have we? Let me just scroll back. We had South Africa earlier. I don't know if he's still here. That was Gary from the Republic of South Africa. We didn't have any of the. I've never posted a video on YouTube myself. Never used social media either. And you're probably better off for it, sir. Yeah, he did a deliberate misspelling of you, didn't he? And that impersonation factor, I'm not sure where YouTube would fall with that. They could just say, oh, it's just a similar name, but not the same name. The fact that he used your name, he used Oscar's name, and there are other details. He's I gotta be careful what I say out loud. What I will say is that he said he was going to come down here and we were going to have fisticuffs, and he never has done. Chicken shit. Open invitation. Come and dance. You can keep saying on your silly little channel how you're going to come down here, you're going to beat me up, you're going to push me off the cliff. But every week it doesn't happen. One of us looks like a fucking turd. And it's not me. My invitation is open. Come and have the fucking fight. Mutual combat. Come and do it. You keep saying you're going to do it. And you keep not doing it. I keep saying, come on, let's go. I can't make you get here. I'm happy to have the fight. Come on down. Let's dance. Okay, folks. There's only so long I can stare into a camera. Stand on guard, Mike. Surprise, surprise, maybe. He can come down any time, mate. Obviously, I would prefer not to be just hit on the back of the head like by surprise. Come on down, announce yourself, and we'll have a fucking fight. Happy to do that anytime. I was going to say anytime, any place, anywhere. Isn't that Martini? That's Martini. But yeah, I'll stick up for you. I'm Spartacus. No, you know, I'm fucking Spartacus. No, he's Spartacus. Pistols at dawn. You need seconds for pistols at dawn. And you need pistols. Probably getting into trouble somewhere there. But as I understand it, in most countries, two men can agree to have a fight and then have a fight. Now, if you do it in the high street, in the middle of town, at 10 o'clock on then you're creating a disturbance of the peace. I'm in a field in the middle of nowhere. Yeah? Whose peace are we disturbing? So my guess would be that it's okay to have a fight. Now, when someone wins, they win. You don't like pick up a rock and fucking smack the other guy over the head and kill him or anything. It's a fight until one says, whoa, until somebody taps out and says, hey, I'm done. The other guy is saying he's going to beat me up so badly, then he's going to throw me over the cliffs and onto the rock. That would be illegal. Two men having a fight and one beating the other up. That's just a fight. That's just mutual combat. As long it's only assault if one party doesn't agree to it. But if we're both agreeing we'll have a fight, we can have a fight. That's legal. If you needed my help from the UK, just send a message. Thank you, Rose. If I need bandaging, you're going to jump on the plane and come on out and... I don't see it happening. The guy we're talking about, after 5 months, he had 3 subscribers. I think he's up to 5 now, somebody told me the other day. 5 months, 5 subscribers. I'm a fucking tramp in a field, and after 5 months, I was approaching 100 subscribers. One of us isn't doing as well as the other. Anyway, folks, it's kind of funny. Hold on. It's sad to hear that the system wants you dead. Well, some of them want you living, handsome. This whole handsome thing, you've got to stop, Rose. You'll get so sectioned. A kick in the ball sorts a fight out. Yeah, you see, I'm a boxer. I do even in even in a fight in the street, I tend towards Marquis of Queensberry. I will, if an obvious opportunity arises, I will break the fucking rules, because why wouldn't you? Like when I had the 2 hour stand-up knockdown fist fight a few months back, I could have choked the guy out in the first 2 minutes. I punched him, put him on the deck, and I got him in a chokehold. I literally could have had him unconscious there and then. Had him in the chokehold. But I was soft and I relented and I let him up. Much to my own annoyance now. Oh, got the burps still. The system sees us as useless meat eaters and plebs. Got no rights unless you stand on them, i.e. private properties, private securities and personal liberties. I think you're right in a lot of ways, yeah. Yeah. You have to push, you have to fight for your rights. And one of the rights is the right to mutual combat. Here we go. Jus in rem non nota quasim persona England, just soli Anglia and crewman creditor, and where the kings as per hierarchy AD 16, PD 57, D4.1, D4.1 to D4.4. All right, let me translate for people who don't speak Latin. I am a real person, not a quasi or legal person. I'm a real entity, so I'm a literal person, not a legal person like a corporation under England. Just solely Anglia. I don't know where we're going there. Anglia is obviously England again, isn't it? And crewman creditor, and we're the kings as per hierarchy. I don't know. You've told me before the AD and the PD. Not sure what they stand for. This is our free man of the land, quoting. He rejects all law because all law is naval law, and he's not in the navy, and therefore there's no law that applies, or something. Born on the soil of England. Okay. See, all the argument goes something along the lines of all law was introduced by the Navy, and I'm not a fucking sailor, so fuck that shit. Would that summarize it, Keith? Naval law doesn't apply. I was never in the Navy, and therefore fuck your law. I think that's broadly speaking the argument. You know what, folks? I quite fancy that bottle of red wine that's sat there waiting for me. Instead of just drinking this beer all night. If we can keep the conversation going, I do need to go to the loo in a minute. And I can pick up the bottle on the way back. Now, if we're going to end at, say, 2:30, 2.5 hours in, we're currently 2 hours, 10 minutes in almost. Oh, look at this. Look, I knew I shouldn't have silenced the fucking phone. UK Richie, you're a bad man. I was just not complaining. I was just saying earlier I didn't have enough money to buy any gas. I think I've had 3 donations now tonight. Where's... Oh, I gotta go do the wee thing. Oh, fairly quickly, fairly soon. I've already had one toiletry accident today, we're not going to go into. But, Tina girl, I've got a fly or some shit. Okay, Rose Hannah and UK Richie. Thank you, thank you, thank you, folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 3 donations in one night. That's kind of unprecedented. Is that because I'm bitching about running out of money? Now I feel like a beggar again. Fuck off. Okay, folks, I'm going to silence you. Well, I'm going to silence me. I got to go do the thing, and I'll be back in less than 2 minutes. It's getting quite desperate, actually. Sorry, folks. Just trying to get me and my girl readjusted. I got certain covers, certain blankets and things under me, and certain ones over me, and they're not all comfortably arranged at the minute. The ones under me in particular are quite uncomfortable. And Tina agrees, I think. Anyway, okay, I am back. Let me do the hand washing. I've got a bit of soapy water here. Oh, that kind of missed. Hold on. Go again. There we go. That's better. Soapy water. Bottle's almost empty. Needs a bit of topping up in the morning. I did pick up a bottle of red on the way. Not bad for a tramp in a field. Let's have a look. Rioja Crianza 2023. 2023 años. Comportillo. Don't know what that means. Comportillo. Denominación de origen calificada. It has a qualified denomination of origin. It is a. It has to come from a specific region to be called that. So look, 14% by volume, 750 ml Rioja. I do like my deep dark reds. My hand is too slippery to pull that off. Ah, that's interesting. Can we do it another way? Has it got a tear? It doesn't. What do I do? Wait for my hand to dry. Oh, my hand dries, but now the paper's wet. Fuck. This is not going to work, is it? I'm going to embarrass myself when I ever open a fucking bottle of wine on the interwebs. Hold on. No. I can't get it. My hands are too slippery. Let's have a look. It's getting there. There we go. There we go. Got you, fucker. Okay, we got that off. Now for the next part. I know this is bad, folks. This is bad. Well, there's one. There should be a second. There it is. Hold on. Hold on. Look at this. I have two, count them, two corkscrews lying in, on and around my bed. Go on, call me all the names. I've been called all the fucking names. Call me all the cunts you want. I think I probably would, actually. If I saw somebody else with two corkscrews on their bed, I think I would call them the names. So, you know, it's okay. Now you have to understand I live on my bed, in, on and around my bed. Oh, that wasn't much of a... I expected more. That's quite fruity. I expected more of a plink. I think we're still going to practice two-handed drinking. So when I finish, let's have a look. That's about a glass, yeah. That's about a glass of wine. This is the only glass I have. I don't have any glasses anymore. Used to have. Some of them, I don't even know what happened to them. Some of them never broke. They're just not here anymore. I'm still going to do two-handed drinking. There's still going to be some beer taken. It's a good job Farmer's not here. All this manipulation with the tripod and the lamp. So for anyone who doesn't know, the tripod is these three cans upon which the lantern sits while we broadcast. And as we go along, I put an empty in and substitute out an empty for a full can. And we've just done that with the second. We've just, whoa, we just put, here we go. We just put a can in so that we can take this one out. Open this up, it's still quite cold. That's good. So I got two-handed drinking. I have beer. I just realised I didn't take a sip of the wine when I opened the wine. Hold on. This is a Rioja, yeah? Let's have a look. Oh. Oh, that is dry. Yeah. Okay. Born on the soil of England. Reject legal, it's their rules, not mine. Download the Interpretation Act of 1978 before they change it. Google BDW affidavit. I will have to. Wash your hands with beer. That would have worked. When you're running low on the soapy water in the little bottle. Now I've got a bottle of water down there. I do have a bottle of soap here, but that's not going to last forever. I've got the soap. I've got the water. I've also got an alcohol gel hand. What do you call them? Sanitizer. That's the word. Sanitizer. Sanitization. I got one of those somewhere. I think it's next to my Branston pickles. If you know, you know. Bring out the Branston. I also have House of Parliament brown sauce. HP brown sauce over there. I've actually got a foreign thing that's very like it. It's called something like polk sauce. Polk. Polk sauce. It's got the same tamarindy kind of dark. It's very, very similar to brown sauce. It's not quite identical, but very similar. Yeah. I did also watch the boys from Fallow, the restaurant in London. I watched them make their own brown sauce not long ago. Didn't it involve plums and things? Bet if you move that tent, there'd be a decent rat's nest underneath. Well, I don't know. We haven't had rats inside. I've had mice, but not many, not often, and only really since the sides split. They haven't really come up from, as far as I can tell, they haven't been coming up from underneath. But there certainly was a mouse nest under here a year ago. I had a hole just outside the bedroom area at both sides of the tent where they came up and in. But we killed enough of them and then poured nasty. Listen, if you're a mouse and you're living underground and 2 litres of piss come down the pipe, it's probably going to wash you and your babies away. I can't put any fairer than that. I piss in a pot. Well, I cut the top off a 2 litre pop bottle. That's my piss pot. It stands up nicely in a big tin that I have that's just the right size for stability. And when it's full, it's full. And when I have a target in mind to pour it down it goes. If not, just off in the field over there somewhere and empty it. But yeah, no, when we had mice coming in direct, just drown little fuckers. I almost said my real name there. Delta Mike piss. Delta Mike. We got a better expression than piss. I haven't really. I'm sometimes my vocabulary escapes me, folks. There are words, and when you use the words, all the words, some words are just perfect, and you haven't got a better option. We could go for urine and all, blah blah blah, but piss just covers it better, doesn't it? Need to freshen up the tent scene. I'm going to try and stick with this particular tent for the next 6 months, get through summer. I have the next tent here already. It's been here for quite several months. maybe 6 by now. The next tent's here. But this tent, this tent has actually been fantastic. Vango, is it Vango? I think it's Vango, Vango. Has been the stuff we've been through with certain storms and the winds that this has come through. The minimal damage that this tent has taken, given that there's a disabled dog doing it all wrong all over the place. The winds, the guy that had the 2-hour stand-up fist fight with that came and damaged the tent, the kids throwing stones, but some of the winds that we've had, the storms, it's been remarkably good. I am so impressed. And we got this tent about half price. There was a discount on top of a discount. So it was discounted because it was a store model, and then it was discounted more because there was like a closing down sale for the whole chain of shops that we were buying it from. This is my friend Karen doing the buying in the UK on my behalf. And the other tent, the next tent, is second hand from the tip in Karen's region. Yeah, no, it's incredible. Okay. Okay, folks, you're here. You are chatting with a tramp. You've got questions. You want answers. Ask away. If you're one of my regulars, come and say hello. Don't lurk. Introduce yourself. Come and say hello. You know you want to. I only opened the wine because I thought we were going to get to 3 or 4 hours. So I feel a little bit awkward now that I've opened the wine and that the numbers have dropped so low. Almost like we're not going to carry on beyond 2.5. But I want to. I want to carry on talking. Come and talk to a tramp on a Friday night into Saturday morning. It is 12:30 my time, 11:30 if you're in the UK, 6:30 Eastern in the US, probably, unless I've got my numbers wrong. And then you can add all your extra hours the further west you go. You know you want to talk to a tramp. Come on. It's okay. We're all friends. So, the channel is Delta Mike, Down and Out in Torrevieja. Delta Mike, that is me, your host. Down and Out in Torrevieja. Down and Out, well, that's a homeless guy, a tramp, a hobo, a vagrant, an indigent person, a person of no fixed abode. Some would say a bum, someone who lives rough, perhaps sleeping on the streets, or in my case, in a field. Fortunately, although I did live here for a couple of months just literally in the field, I'm now in a tent in the field. Keith, Sign of Nature, asks, when's your next cut? What kind of cut? Like haircut? I've only just had one. Haircut and beard trim have only just happened. Maybe you mean something else. Maybe you can clarify. I'm not sure. But yeah, my haircut was Good Friday, so is that 2 weeks ago? Is it only 2 weeks ago? We got a car coming down the road. I don't know if you can hear. The road here is the track is getting worse and worse. It's really getting washed away when it rains. Hold on. No, that wasn't me. No. We're not even doing that. Good Friday. That's not an F. It's just 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? April the 3rd. Friday was the 17th. Just 2 weeks. Oh, that chilly. I got chilly burps, folks. I got the chilly burps. But yeah, Good Friday was just 2 weeks ago. That's when I got my hair cut. Now I have the trimmers myself. Oh, I could go over and do the beard and the neck myself, and I might do that tomorrow. Oh, excuse me. I may well do that tomorrow if I can. Yeah. Who else is out there? Anyone else still here? There's only Keith talking to me. Rose, where we are at, she was here a little while ago. Robert was here a little while ago. Hey. Rose, Robert, UK Richie was here a while back. He hasn't said he was going, but he might have. But, hey. I got the burps, folks. I got the burps. The hiccup. I guess the hiccup's more than burps. UK Richie, I'm still here. Yes, sharpen the beard. Okay. I will take. I have. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Karen got me some hair trimmers. Now Karen's a hairdresser. She just bought a cheap pair from a cheap set from Argos, I think it was, in the UK. But she leaves them here with me. We argue about whether they're mine or whether they're hers. I said they're hers. She says they're mine. But anyway, and I need the adapter, the UK plug to Spanish plug for those to work. Which caused a little bit of trouble this last time. Caused a little bit of trouble this time because I couldn't find the adapter. I only have the one. I used to have about 10. But I think they were in the bag that Pepe ran away with when he left the Spanish guy when he left the camp. Oh yeah. I do apologize, folks. I am hiccuping rather extensively. Where was I going after that or before that? Sharpen the beard. I've got okay. So what I was saying, that I do have a set of hair trimmers, and I do have a separate set of smaller, I think, that are just specifically intended to be beard trimmers. Now, in fairness, both could do both. They're electric shears. There's not a lot in it, but the hair trimmers have a wider head, and the beard trimmers have a narrower head. That, I think, is the only difference in them, and the different guards and guides that they have. I think Hannah just asked a question. Okay, I saw it, Hannah. I saw it. Do you still talk to your family? I think you were asking. No, I'm not in touch with any of my family from back home. No. Seems like there's some kind of family dispute or something happened after I left. There's so my mum died. Oh, my mum died, and there's me, my brother, and my sister. We each own a third share of a house. And it looks like one of us has decided the house is his. Yeah. Seems to be what has happened. One of us has decided that the house is his. But this all happened after I left. So me, my brother, my sister, my ex-wife, there are various nephews, and no, there's no communication between us. Clearly, there's some shit to be sorted when I get back there. But we'll see. This hiccuping thing. What? Oh, excuse me. I got the hiccups and the burps. We are his family. That's why I share info. You are indeed. We're family, Keith and Hannah and Richie. UK Richie. We're family. Appreciate you all. Love you all. And so does Tina, who is sitting here silently. Are you asleep this time? Hello, babe. Can I show you off to the people? You are awake, aren't you? I thought you were. I thought you were awake. Can I show you to the peoples? Come on. The people love their Tina girl. It always have to pimp out my girl a little bit. It's why you're here. Hold on. Look at the nice cover. And then look at the crappy quilt underneath. And then somewhere over here is my doggy darling. Hello, babe. Come on, you were awake a minute ago. You had your head right up. Tina. You bugger. Oi, I know you're awake. You know you're awake. Lift your fucking head. No? Oh, you awkward sod. Hello, babe. You know I love you, really. You might go. I know you don't like the light. I'll take it away. I'll take it away. I'll bury you. You're going underground. Tina's going underground. Like Fletch. Okay, folks. That was my Tina girl. She was, honestly, a few minutes earlier, she was sat up and looking at me, and it's only when I put the camera on that she's like, I'm asleep, go away. That's just, oh, look at this. The cables come out of the EcoFlow. I think I've talked to you about my EcoFlows before, haven't I? That's charging, that's okay. We're all good there. So I think I've discussed the EcoFlows before. For anyone who's uninitiated, you might hear me talking about my EcoFlows and my power and... Oh, fuck. I just ruined that, look. Hold on. The port is... there. Where? Oh, God. Give us a second. Oh, no. I could have put the... It's the torch there, look. There it is. That cable has been abused by the previous owners. I got this thing second hand, and I think they've caught that, and it's made the connection dodgy. But for anyone who doesn't know, the this is a 12 volt. This is a 12 volt port, like your cigarette lighter adapter in your car. So that will run like things like my portable refrigerator. I have a fridge freezer, camping fridge freezer, Runs from the 12 volt port. We have standard USB, 2 of those. USB A as they're called. Which go, I think there's something like 2.1 amps, 5 volts. Gives you about 11 or 12 watts. Then you've got a USB-C port. I think this one does up to 60 watts, if I'm not mistaken. But the real genius of it is over here. That's a proper real plug socket in Spain. I know if you're British, you wouldn't recognise it as a fucking plug socket, but it is. But that's a proper real plug socket. That will run things like slow cookers, fridges or freezers or fans or all sorts. I've got a TV. I've got an electric blanket, folks. If I need it. If I needed it. This winter I didn't. But I have an electric blanket. I have a television. I have a fan. Oh, what else uses it? We just tried an air fryer. That didn't quite work, unfortunately. But the slow cooker works. The slow cooker works. This and a couple of solar. Well, I've got 2 of these, and 2 solar panels. And I'm kind of living like a king in the middle of a field, off grid. Put it this way, if the zombie apocalypse happened, I'm okay for the first month. Water would be the biggie. For now, I've got enough. I think I've got food. It's not. I haven't got a perfect amount. I do actually need to go shopping for potatoes, onions, leeks, celery, carrots. I need those basic veg. I have got tins of meat, tins of fish. I got some things over there. I got stuff in the fridge freezer. These have been a revelation. When I saved up your donations, I managed to buy a solar panel and the first EcoFlow. I had a cool box. That was a bad purchase. That didn't work out. That was okay for the first year, but like a fridge without a proper compressor. It took a lot of power and didn't really get that cool. This, oh man, this will freeze. It's big, it gets proper fucking cold, and it doesn't mess about, and it doesn't use that much power. In contrast, I got this I think in like the October or November last year, the fridge. So this is going to be my first summer with a fridge freezer where I could make. In theory, I could make ice, but I probably won't because the small compartment is the fridge and the large compartment is the freezer. That's kind of the wrong way around. So I don't want to freeze everything that's in the large compartment. If you see what I mean. Unless I took them out of there and put them into a separate cool box and packed them with ice. And if I had a week of making lots and lots of cold, I could probably do that, but I would be putting things out of there into separate cool boxes to be the fridge or freezer. Let's have a look. Wrap the loose plug with foil to make it snug. Maybe the USB one, yeah, maybe. You're the viewer's future, hence the curiosity. Oh, you think everyone's going to like me? You think everyone's going to be living in a fucking field with solar panels I don't know, mate. I watch a lot of conspiracy theories. I'm not sure that many suggest that everyone's going to end up living in a fucking field. You're not all living in a ditch or in, it's, I don't know. Your summer in Spain is going to be a furnace. Get prepared. Yeah, I mean, Spain is generally warm. We've also got the whole El Nino thing, which we're not sure which way that's going to go, how that's going to affect things. Summer is, this will be my, will this be my fourth summer or fifth? Yeah. I think this will be my fourth summer. But I've got I've got electricity, I've got a fan, I've got a fridge. If I can keep it stocked with cold drinks, whether that's cold water, cold cola, cold, what's this one? I got a lemonade. Yeah, lemon. It is lemon. Lemon. Whether it, whatever kind of cold drink it is, cold beer obviously would be appreciated and always is. Anyone who sends me money and says go get beer is always it's always. Did you get a tarp to UV proof the tent? I have two tarps. Yeah, I had two. I had two tarps already. But ground sheets rather than tarps, technically. I don't know what the difference is. Ground sheets seem thicker but less tough. But yeah, I put a ground sheet on at one end just to cover that end, and then realised I could pull it further back and it fit. And then we looked at it and said, "Can it go back one more?" And if it went back one more, that would be half of the tent covered, and it did. And then I'd got a second one. So we covered the other half. This was me, Karen, and her family. They helped me. Not just helped. These things have sat there for months, and I am the master procrastinator, folks. So having someone like Karen is very now. Why don't you get those out and we'll do that now? Oh, do I have to? And then we do it, and at the end I'm happy that we did. It's I don't know. It's a personality trait that I have, where I'm a later, and it's a personality trait that she has where she's now. And sometimes I just need that kick up the arse to be a little bit more now. It also helps that when the wind's blowing and you're trying to do things that you've got two or three sets of hands. Trying to do some shit on my own is often really difficult. So yeah, we did get fully covered. It's not from ground to ground. More or less, there's a few inches each side on the long ways, and there's a couple of few feet, maybe 3 feet at the sides where it doesn't reach. It's not like having a 10 meter by 6 meter single tarp over the top, but it's good enough. It's good enough for now, and should do me until August. Back end of August, we will swap out this old tent for the new one, and yeah, see how we go from there. It's a huge, the package, the bag it's in is fucking, I don't know what that means for the size of the tent, because this one is slightly smaller than the previous one, and it showed and has been a bit of an issue at times. But I'm whining about, how many square meters my tent is. When I watch other homeless guys online, they're in a 2-man or a 3-man tent. I haven't done that. I've been in 8-man and 6-man tents. I guess apart from the one that I built myself initially, my initial shack. Honestly, folks, I say this often. Please go and watch my first ever videos. Watch the first week's worth of videos I ever made. See how I was living back then. It's night and day, chalk and cheese. It's not. There's no comparison. There really is no comparison between how I was in that first week. I mean, you got to remember, my first videos on this channel were 7 or 8 months into being homeless. 5 months or more, 6 months or more into being in this field. I'd built a shelter. I'd basically built my own tent, and then it was falling apart, and that's where the channel started, where my own shack or tent was falling apart. And we had 10 days of thunder and lightning ahead of us. And that's the beginning of the channel. I made a chicken flavored stew with a view to having some food for the next 3 or 4 days, because we had 10 days of thunder and lightning and storms ahead. And I was in a tent made of 6 broom handles and a tarpaulin that was falling apart. Every time the wind blew, there was new holes in the tarp. I did my first video, and then that night the roof caved in. It's all there. Go and watch video 1 and video 2. The first 2 videos I ever made. All you have to do, under this video, you see my little icon, my little picture. Click the picture, take you through, and it offers you all of the, you want to click on videos, and then you want to click on oldest, so that you're seeing them. You're not seeing the latest video first, you want to see the oldest video first. And obviously the oldest video is my first video. You watch that, and then the one after. That first week, wow, just wow. Imagine you feel that your roof's about to fall in, so you put your arm up like that, and your arm goes through the roof, and all the water comes in. The 5, 10, 20 litres, whatever it was that was on that roof that you thought you were gonna just press up, and the water would tip over the edge. No, your arm goes through the roof, and all the water comes in. And then the next day you got to fix that hole, because it's going to rain thunder and lightning for the next 10 days as well. 9 days, 8 days, whatever. I don't know. Who does know? Not me. Hold on, I'm scrolling back. Did you get a tarp to UV-proof the tent? Okay, that's double or triple your tarpon. Double or triple your tarpaulin. Foil covered tarpaulin. I do have one of those emergency blanket type things laying around here somewhere, for if needed. I don't generally use the foil. I don't use those. most of the time. UK Richie, I will always look for reasons to put things off instead of getting things done. Yeah. Never do today what you can put off until tomorrow. To subvert a popular idiom. Is it an idiom? Yeah, I am the great procrastinator when it comes to these things. School homework, university dissertations, revising for exams. It was all done, starting at midnight the night before, through until 4:05. It's just always the way it was. I don't think I could do it any differently if I went back now and with a deliberate aim to do it differently. I'll always remember the one time I did do it differently. I finished an essay about 3 days early and sat there wondering what to do. Do you know what I did? I went back through it and edited it and added to it, and still ended up being almost late. So I'd had one pass through, and I sat back and thought, well, that's done. Now what am I going to do? It's the night before it. What am I going to do? No, I went in and dicked about with it. It's just in my nature to just be late, to always be right up against the deadline. Use palm tree branches for tent coverings to cool your quarter down. The palm trees are in the centre of town. We haven't got any here. Oh, maybe the park, I guess. Like, if I had a mobile dog, I guess, yeah, the park, palm tree branches would be a thing. It's a few hundred meters that way, and I've got a disabled dog. And no, it's not out of the question. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. I've used the doggy chariot a lot less than I thought I would the last month or so. Tina's front legs are starting to give. There's an obvious she's stumbling and falling on her front paws. Even worse when she stumbles and falls off to her left, which puts her in front of me and in line with my big clobbering shoes. But no, that's not a reason not to. Yeah, palm branches or whatever are a possibility. Need a tap near the tent with a hose to cool you down in summer. That would be great. It's just not gonna happen. There is no water line anywhere near us, and no one's gonna tap into one. Oh wow, folks. I am struggling. Where are we? We are on 3 hours or thereabouts, yeah? 1 o'clock. I guess this would be a good time to call it quits. I'm yawning and I'm tired and I'm struggling. I would have liked to go on more. I will endeavour to do better on Sunday. On Sunday, we'll have a proper run through the events of the week. There haven't really been any events, but I'll try and walk you through day by day what happened this week. Hasn't been much, but yeah. Yawning is making me tired. I'm ready for my bed. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It is a uniquely, it's a mammalian thing. If you yawn in front of a rat or a monkey or a dog, they'll yawn as well. It is, yawns are infectious. It's clearly not. It's not physiological in the fact that it's nothing that I'm yawning out that's making someone, because you're not here. Like if I yawned and then Tina did, it could be something kind of infectious in the air. But it's not, it's psychological. It is a mammalian thing. And all mammals do it. Including rats, apparently. I apologize for yawning in front of you folks. You've been mid-vibe tonight, Mike. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not on top form. I'm not as bad as that. Last Friday was particularly bad. I apologized already for that. I don't know what was wrong with me last Friday. I think it's mainly the sleep thing, which is why I might put these back to 11 o'clock through summer. The TrampCast Hangouts. Start them at 11 my time, 10 UK. So I have at least a chance of getting a nap beforehand. It's terrible, isn't it? Okay, folks, I'm going to call it quits there. We're not going to make it to the 4-hour mark. There's no point pretending. I say cheers to all of you that are accompanying me on a Friday night into what is now Saturday morning. Cheers. It's even Saturday morning your time, isn't it? At least there isn't 25 minutes. Yeah, can you believe that? I sat here talking to myself on Sunday for 25 fucking minutes. 25. Count them. 25 minutos. 25 fucking minutes. I assumed the counter, the Ajax request, I assumed the request from the just wasn't getting through. No, none of my signal got through for 25 minutes. I even had people trying to ring me from America to say, kind of, where are you? Okay, folks, that's me done. I'm gonna try and finish in the manner to which you may or may not be accustomed, depending on how long you've been around these parts. Although she is under the covers, but she has just stirred. Hello, baby. Hold on. That's my hand over the... Hold on. Here we go. I'm sorry. I know you don't like it. Here she is. Here's Tina girl. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Oh, rah. What are you doing? Okay, folks. From Tina. And when I get my hand out of the way, from me, Delta Mike.